however you see fit for me to have to deal with this thing, this is what I'm going to do. Whatever I got to do, you know, however I got to take it. Take me out praising you, because that's what I'm going to do anyway. When they said I can't, you know, I know the doctor said I'm not supposed to, but every chance I get, I still, hey, it takes everything out of me, but I'm singing. I'm doing what I love to do for him. I'm exhausted by the time I'm done, and I'm stuck in the bed the next day, but that's all right. It was worth it. It was worth everything in me to do what I love to do for him, because I know what he's done for me. I know where he's brought me from, and I know he ain't gonna leave me. If he ain't left me yet, I know he ain't going nowhere now. Because of you, my cloudy days are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. All right now. Sarcoidosis is not stopping her.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk Sarcoidosis on the Road. I'm your host, Dorothea Howard, and we are live with Allison Walker, the founder of Caring Hands Sarcoidosis Foundation. And I want to thank her for allowing us to come here with her sarcoidosis family, our family, and to be able to talk and have our show again. So Allison, thank you so much for having us here.
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming.
We enjoy coming here everywhere you go. Like this is twice for us, you know,
Right.
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee,
I know.
and now beautiful Grand Haven, Michigan, at the Harbor House Inn
Yes.
Bed and Breakfast.
That's right.
This is a gorgeous place.
Yes, it is, and it's so comfortable.
It is, and you know, I just have to let the viewers know that we have our sarcoidosis family right here live with us. Say hello, everyone. Hello. So, I know that you always include a theme for the retreat.
Every year.
So what is this year's theme, and why did you select this particular theme?
Well, the theme for this year is refresh, mind, body, and soul. And I selected that theme because our goal for this year is healthy choices, healthy living, healthy eating, healthy thinking. So that theme kind of encompasses all of that.
And I love the places that you select for the retreat. Why this?
Well, for two reasons. One of our members, Jody, lives here. So she said, well, why don't you come to Grand Haven? We're like, okay. So she gave us a list of places to look at. So the Harp House Inn had beautiful pictures. I love the pictures, so I said, well, let's go there. So Sally, the manager here, has been so kind, and she made it so easy. So that's why we ended up here.
Allison, let's talk a little bit about the foundation, especially for those who didn't get the opportunity to view the last video. So let's talk about the mission
Okay.
of your foundation.
Well, Caring Hands Sarcoidosis Foundation is the voice of the sarcoidosis patient. We educate, we empower our members to make good decisions for themselves. When you go to the doctor, you have to be your own advocate. You just can't say, okay, I'll take this medicine. No, why am I taking this medicine? So we give them the resources that they need to make those great decisions for themselves.
That's awesome. I really love what you're doing. And let people know how they can also donate to your foundation.
They can go on our website, caringhandsofmichigan.org, and Michigan is just in mine. So that's caringhandsofmichigan.org. We're also under Cash App now, thanks to my daughter who's signing us up for these things. So we're on Cash App, and we're on Text to Give at 313-992-7180. So there's different ways that they can give. If they go on the website, if they want to mail a check, their address is on there. and we are a 501c3 organization.
And we'll also have that at the credit so people can actually write it down if they need to, if they miss what you said. The other thing is, can we talk about how important Allison support is for all of our fellow Sarcoidonians?
And support is the key. When you have support, you don't feel so alone. You have people that you can call when you're having your moments of trying to really understand life with a chronic illness, because this is a different life. Your life that you were used to, the jobs you were used to doing, you can't do them anymore. So you need that support, whether it be your family, your extended family, and some of us, our doctors are a support system, so it's vital to a great quality of life.
And another question, Allison, before I have someone else come up. We have lost a lot of fellow Sarcoidonians, and you lost a lot in the foundation family. So I think we should all just kind of have like a moment of silence for those who we have lost, and we want to also bless their families or caretakers and anybody that have supported them along the journey. So if everyone doesn't mind, if we can just close our eyes for a minute for those that we lost.
Of our members since 2009. And it's hard when the doctor says, well, I can't do anything else for you, and you're just waiting for the end to come, and that's a horrible avenue to take. But a lot of our members have been told there's nothing else I can do for you, so then what? What happens then? So we have to be our own support system.
Allison, thank you. I will have you back up before we end the show, but thank you so much, and our heart goes out to all the families during their loss. We do continue to pray for them. I brought in such a fantastic gentleman, goes by the name of Egypt, and I don't know if you've heard about him, but you will know who he is before he leaves here today. He is the inspiration. He will empower, he will motivate, he's a producer, an author, he's an actor, he's been in magazines, countless magazines, television, BET, VH1, you name it, just read his biography. Let me just introduce him without further ado. Egypt, come on up here.
When I found out at 12 years old that my mom was gone, like I would never see my mother again. She died at 36 years old. Then when I found out that the reason why my dad was never there is because my dad literally was never there. As soon as he found out I was born, he was gone. And then when my mom passed away, he definitely left. He was like, I now really have no reason to be there. Why me? Why did this happen to me? And am I worthy? Why me? And then, am I worthy of still being happy despite what's happening in my life? The why me and the am I worthy? And I had to think about that for a second, because I've always asked myself those same two questions. Because every day I look up and I look at my little daughter, and I say, there is nothing that will happen to me that will allow me not to be there in her life. She can't smile. She can cry, so I hope that is a form of some type of language. But I say, every day when I look at her, I say, there is not a mountain that's going to come in between she and I that's going to prevent me from being there. Because she's never going to have to ask herself that question. Why is Daddy not there? And I think that I have an answer for those two questions. The why me? I say we leave that as a question mark. It could be genetic, hereditary, it could be whatever. What are the things that you're doing that make other people say, man, I have this, but I can do what she's doing or what he's doing. I could live my life the way they're. Sarcoidosis is not every page. It is not every chapter. And you're making that book that somebody else is going to read. And somebody's going to realize that I can get through this because you got through this. And you got through it. You're not walking through it. You're getting through it. And that's power. Because somebody else can look at that and say, I was going to give up today. Today was the day I was going to give up, but then I read your book. I read your story. I saw it on Facebook. I saw it on Instagram. And it gave me another reason to get up and walk. And you did that. They didn't spend every single day just looking at themselves in the mirror saying, God, why me? They had fun. They ate well. They acted crazy. They got in trouble because some of y'all look like troublemakers. Some of y'all out here too late. You got to call and say, where's Bessie? I'm in my room. No, you're not. But that's the stories we need. And I wanted to flip the why me, because we're going to leave that as a question mark. Instead of why me, what will I do with this? What will I do with it? In the Bible, they talk about Moses had a speech impediment. That was really hard back then. Really hard, because they looked for any reason to call you a leper. They looked for any reason to get rid of you. What? One of your fingers shorter than the other? When everybody's fingers are shorter than the other? They're like, oh, that's the reason you got to die. But he was chosen to do something great. So this can't be a reason why you can't do something great. Maybe this is the reason you'll do something great. But it's a choice. There's not one person in here who has more ability than the next. Because you look at anybody who's ever changed anything, you look at their makeup, everybody wasn't always physically fit. Martin Luther King was 175 pounds and shorter than me. So that dude was not healthy. They said his heart at the time of his death was the heart of somebody 2 times his age because of the amount of stress that he was dealing with. So he wasn't physically fit to be able to do what he was able to do. But it was a choice. It was an everyday waking up believing that I deserve to be here and to smile and that I'm going to do something great. So you have to ask yourself that question. Rather than the why me, what am I going to do with? Because when you answer that question, everything else falls in line. Eat good, meditate, and sleep.
Okay, now we want to talk to LaTonya. And LaTonya, it's very important, as you know, that we provide information about ourselves to try to help other people. So I wanted to ask you, when were you diagnosed with sarcoidosis? And after you were diagnosed, how did it affect your family, you and your family?
I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis in 2009, and the effect that it put on my family, I had worked for Detroit Public Schools for 14 years, and suddenly one day when I got up to get ready to go to work, I was unable to get out the bed. And by the time I was rushed to Henry Ford Hospital, they told me I got there in just enough time before I would have passed away. So at that time, they told me I could no longer work anymore. I'm deemed disabled.
And what organ did it affect? What organs?
It has affected my lungs, my liver, my eyes, my sinuses, and now it's in my spine.
Now, I know you had 2 intelligent, handsome sons. And so how did they feel when you were diagnosed with sarcoidosis?
My oldest son, you could tell he took it the hardest because he was older. My baby boy at that time, he was only 6 years old. So he didn't quite understand it. And also, with me battling the illness of sarcoidosis and just finding out about it, I was also running back and forth to the hospital with him in and out of intensive care because he had asthma real bad. So in this process of dealing with my illness, I've also had to deal with his too.
And one last question. How important is support?
It means a lot. And I would say for all of those who have a lot of support from different areas, organizations, your family, because at this time the organization is all I have. I don't really have immediate family that supports me with this issue. I think it's lack of understanding, or more so in denial, assuming that because of the illness and the different effects that it has on my body, I believe that they more so in the mindset of believing that it's going to take my life.
Thank you, LaTonya, because I know you didn't have to share your story, and I really appreciate it, and I know everyone in here appreciate it as well. Thank you. Continued blessings. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I want to personally thank you, Tracy, we had a slight emergency today, and Tracy stepped in along with Allison and collectively everyone, because you're a nurse.
Yes.
You're a nurse, and so let us know how you were, when you were diagnosed, and how did it affect your family and yourself, as well as your career.
I was diagnosed in 2002. They originally thought I had cancer on the spine. After they did a laminectomy, they found out I did not have cancer, that the sarcoid had attacked my spine. It has traveled to my liver. It has hit my brain twice, and my lymph nodes is in my eyes now. How it affected my career, I've been a nurse since I was 19. I've actually been doing home care since 1985. So I became disabled soon after that because I was an invalid. I couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. If I would stand up, I would fall. In the process of having a sarcoidosis, in 2015, I became immune suppressed from taking the steroids because it had attacked my brain again. So I ended up having an amputation of my arm. So in that process, no longer could I work as a field nurse, which I have been doing for almost 30 years. So it changed my life in a great way, but now I go into the office 40 hours a month, and I do quality assurance, and I still do a little teaching. So that kept me from really going crazy.
And you helped us here today, too.
Okay.
And making sure that everybody's feeling a little bit better. And we thank you for that.
Thank you.
And one last question, what about support? In your opinion, how important is support for everyone?
Support is the best thing that you can have. I am fortunate that I have a wonderful support system. I have a lot of nurses who are my friends, a lot of doctors, but my children are my biggest support team. And my church is my support team. Whenever I get down, my church and my friends are always there to keep telling me that I can continue to fight on, and that's what I do. I live life to the fullest. So when it's my last day, anyone who knows me say I never gave up. I am truly enjoying the journey that God has given me.
Amen. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Tracy. I
Thank
appreciate you sharing your story with the viewers.
Thank you.
Hi, Rhonda. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for sharing your story with the viewers out there. You can help so many people by doing so. So can you tell us when you were diagnosed and what part of the body, or, what major organs of the body, and how did it change your life?
I was diagnosed in 2006. It affected my eyes, my brain, my lungs. And I think that was it. And it affected me a lot. I did a 360-degree turn. I was doing everything from doing hair in the nursing field. My kids were still young. They was graduating from high school then. I ended up in 2010. I had a port put in for me to live. 2012, I had a double lung transplant. It changed me. It's my new way of living. That's how I look at it now. As far as everything I do, I don't really do too much, but I do a lot. I don't do as much as I used to do. But like she said, I live life to the fullest. I keep pushing. That's all I can do.
Well, that's what you should do, right? You know, and talking to everyone, you know, we have a lot of talent in this house, a lot of talent. And, you know, that goes to show you that this disease cannot stop us from what we want to do. You know, because I'm listening to everybody having a profession, and it's just awesome. It's awesome. So I thank you again for sharing your story. And it was definitely a pleasure meeting you and seeing you again. Thank you. I just want to let the viewers know that patient stories are very, very important. And we just want to take this time to get some patients on the air to share, to ultimately help save lives and help other people. And now we have Sherry. Welcome, Sherry. I'm great, thank you. Now, Sherry, can you tell us what major organs were affected by sarcoidosis and when were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed, excuse me, in 1995 in North Carolina. And then it was my lungs once they did a biopsy and found it. In some cases, I was told that sometimes the biopsy does not find it, you know, but I was fortunate it was found. And at this day and age, basically I'm affected. My lungs, my kidneys, not my kidneys, my liver. I had a total hip replacement at the age of 50, which the doctor said I was rare for a young person to have such bone-on-bone issues. Recently found out that I had a very high testosterone level, which was, the doctors were amazed because they were not aware of a woman having such high levels. And I had my fallopian tubes and ovaries removed. And then I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. And so they removed portions of my thyroid. But I'm here.
And what lesson did you learn from Egypt today?
I already love to eat. Sometimes sleeping is kind of hard, but I like sleeping too. And meditation is the key, really. You know, believing and trusting in whoever you choose, you know, on your religious path, spiritual journey, you know, but God delivers as far as I'm concerned. And then having a wonderful support system. My mother is a great advocate for sarcoidosis and her journey along her Christian way. And she accompanies me, and she's my driver. She's here today, and she attends these functions with me. And I totally appreciate my 28-year-old mother.
Hi, Mom. Why are you at the retreat?
I'm here to just get, you know, re-energized, you know, to see old friends, you know, and meet new people and help encourage the new people in their journey, because I know how I felt when I was first diagnosed. I was a single mother, had recently moved to North Carolina, and within a month of moving, I had lost 60 pounds. I had a cough that basically everyone shied away from. I've had people even say in places like Walmart, "I'll bet you smoke another one." And I've never smoked in my life. That just shows how insensitive people are sometimes to us who look like we're well as hell, but we're very sick inside.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. God bless you too. Thank you. Hi, Tanisha. Fine, thank you. Welcome. All right, Tanisha, so if you can let the viewers know when you were diagnosed, what major organs, and how has it affected your life?
Well, I am the newbie on the block. I've just recently been diagnosed back in April. It's affecting my lungs and my heart at this point. It has taken an absolute toll on me. how did I get to this point? Why am I here? Why do I have to go through this? And I'm one of those ones. I trust God and I believe God in everything that I do. And so when they told me that I had it and how it was affecting my lungs, and I love to sing. Anybody that knows me knows that I love to sing. That singing is everything to me. And when they told me I would not be able to sing for about 6 months to a year because I wouldn't have the full capacity of being able to use my lungs the way I wanted to, it like to have just taken everything from me. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what else to do. If I can't sing, what else do I have? And it's like, I don't know, just being around such strong women now that, you know, hearing their stories and how they've been able to overcome and deal with it is, I know, you know, I know from here on out I'll be all right. I know I can make it. Yeah, it's still scary because I didn't know what I was dealing with. I still don't know. You know, some of these symptoms I go through some days is just like, God, what is this? Where did this even come from? But it helps to have a support system. I come from a family of 15 children. Yeah.
15?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I got a few sisters and brothers that, you know, they're there, but I have one sister in Georgia, and we're on the phone all day, every day. Well, how you feeling? And she stresses about it just as much as I do because she's there and I'm here. And she can't get to me if I'm going through stuff. Well, you think you want me to call Mama? You want to go to the hospital? You want to do this? I'm okay. You sure you okay? I'm okay. Well, if you get any worse, you know you got to go to the hospital. Listen, I'm all right. I'm so at a point now where, you know, like I said, I trust God on everything, and I just don't care no more.
You gave him the wheel, because he's definitely going to drive, let me tell you.
I don't. I just don't. I'm at a point, I don't care no more. However you see fit for me to have to deal with this thing, this is what I'm going to do. Whatever I got to do, you know, however I got to take it. Take me out praising, because that's what I'm going to do anyway. When they said I can't, yeah, I know the doctor said I'm not supposed to, but every chance I get, I still, hey, it takes everything out of me, but I'm singing. I'm doing what I love to do for him. I'm exhausted by the time I'm done, and I'm stuck in the bed the next day, but that's all right. It was worth it. It was worth everything in me to do what I love to do for him, because I know what he's done for me. I know where he's brought me from, and I know he ain't gonna leave me. If he ain't left me yet, I know he ain't going nowhere now.
So why don't you, before I let you go, why don't you sing a little bit, just so you know and everybody else know that you believe in you, because you know it's not going to stop you from singing.
That's all right.
Just a little bit.
I can do that.
Just a little bit.
Because of you, my cloudy days are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything.
All right now. Sarcoidosis is not stopping her. Amen. Thank you for sharing your story, and it's going to be all right. You just showed us. You just showed us. So keep your head up.
Yes, ma'am, I
Keep your
will.
head up. All
Thank
righty.
you.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thanks for being
Hi.
here.
Thank you for interviewing me.
So Sharon, let everyone know how you were affected with sarcoidosis and how did it change your life?
Ooh. I was diagnosed in 2012 and, 13, and it's in my lungs. And I went from being an active woman, a manager, doing everything, living my life like we all have. And then within a scope of about a month or two, I couldn't even grocery shop. I couldn't even get from one side of my house to the other. And I knew something was terribly wrong. And then I was diagnosed in the fall of 2013.
What major organs did sarcoidosis affect? Okay.
My lungs, yeah.
So I know a lot of people had different types of careers. How did your family react once they found out that you were afflicted with this disease?
I am so blessed. My daughter's here with me today, and I have an incredible family support. And I couldn't even go to the grocery store. I couldn't do my laundry. So all of my kids did everything for me, from going to the grocery store, carrying the groceries in, putting them away, to helping me get here or there and giving me that moral support that I needed, because my husband died in 2008, and
I hear that.
I was their mom. I was the only parent left. And all of a sudden, here I am. They're taking care of me. I cared for my husband. I was a former respiratory therapist, so gosh, you get a lung disease. I mean, how crazy is that? And so I was diagnosing myself, and yet I had just incredible support the whole time. I don't work anymore. I'm disabled because of it. But through this all, as I've been I'm having a good spell right now. I'm doing really well. I'm back to doing things with my kids. I never gave up, never once. And I have my siblings. I moved in the middle of all this. I literally sat at the kitchen table with my whole family moved me because I couldn't do anything. So it humbles you, when you're the one that takes care of everybody. Mom, wife, sibling, worker, and all of a sudden you can't do anything. So it's like, okay, God, what the heck? And then you don't even know what's going on. So you're trying to figure out your life. Why did this happen? You have so many questions. And I took care of all these patients with lung diseases, and here I am a patient. And so I'm grateful for my knowledge because I understand things, but it's scary at the same time. But I don't know what I would have done without the support of my family. I've also had wonderful, wonderful doctors who believed me, because I was sick for probably a long time before that. It just didn't manifest itself properly for them to diagnose it. And everyone said that it was because of my weight, and I just kept thinking, this isn't right. I'm different now, and something happened. But I have to say that it's scary at first, but then you learn how to cope with your disease. And I'm so grateful every day for everything I have. I really am.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. We really, really appreciate it, and continued blessings to you and your family as well.
Thank you so much.
And it's great meeting you and seeing you again. All right. Yeah. So I know that I met you last year. You guys are fabulous. And I know that, your mom means the world to you. And with that being said, with all of the things that your mom is doing, being ill herself, how important is that support from the immediate family or just the family members in general?
It's very important. She'll go for her Remicade treatments, and she'll get phone calls and text messages and Facebook messages, Instagram, Snapchat. It's insane. And we have to tell her, listen, you have to take care of yourself, because you can't help anybody if you're laid up in the hospital, and she gives so much of herself to so many different people. It's very frustrating for us because, we know she doesn't feel good, but she keeps on pushing and keeps on pushing because she wants to help everybody else who doesn't feel good.
Christopher, what is your thoughts on everything?
Some days we say we told you so, because like for instance that Jessica gave, some days she gives so much and so much and at the end of the day, she's exhausted. So she goes to her room and lays down, and she can't move. So we just look at her and said, we told you should have, like, took it back a notch. But, like, for some of the examples that people up here gave, like, for instance, doing the laundry is hard for her, especially before we moved. I would have to take her laundry basket down the stairs. I had no problem with that. I would have to do a lot of stuff for her. We all would. But that's just one of the sacrifices we're willing to make as kids. She's made sacrifices for us, so we're making them for her.
That's amazing. You guys are just simply caring individuals, and I know you got that from your mom, because your mom is helping everybody, including, you know, herself. But I want to say an extra shout out to Cassandra, who everyone can't see right now, but let's give Cassandra a hand, which is another one of the siblings of Jessica and Christopher, and she's actually operating the camera today for the Let's Talk Sarcoidosis on the Road show. So thank you so much for jumping in, Cassandra, and we really appreciate you stepping up to continue for us to finish the show. So thank you. I think everybody want to give her a hand again. Thanks, guys. And the other question is, I know that your mom picks these very nice locations for the retreat. Do you guys have any say-so on where it's going to be?
Yeah, last year was my idea. Okay. You're welcome. Christopher.
I don't get say-so because I'm normally working when they go to these places, so I'm at home while they travel.
So we know who the other backbone of the foundation is, Jessica. Thanks, y'all. I really appreciate you stepping in and having the conversation with me. Now I want to call up Allison before we close out the show. The founder, again, of Caring Hands Sarcoidosis Foundation, nurse. Let's see, what else did we add to that resume that we just talked about?
Bus driver. Nurse, medical assistant.
Allison, I just want to thank you again for allowing us to come here and share the sarcoidosis family stories, because we all know that, you know, you arranged it for the itinerary for us to even come out once again this year and be a part of it. We totally enjoy it. Egypt loves it. We love it too.
I appreciate you because, you know, it starts conversations, and your platform is so vast that people need to know what's going on. You know, we need to come out of the rare disease category. We need to come out of African American women only category, because if you can look around, we're diverse and we're real people with real issues, and people need to listen.
And you're right, and everybody, you know, most people in the room, they have professions, you know, and we're all stricken with this disease, but we know how to keep going day by day and just take it day by day.
It's our new normal, you know. And
say it again.
Our new normal.
And you know what? We were given this life, and we're going to, you know, we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. So I thank you. I'm looking forward to hearing where it's going to be next year. Jessica? Yes, Jessica. But I thank you again. We really enjoyed. And closing it out, I would love LaTonya to say some words of wisdom, please. LaTonya, if you can just say a few words of inspiration, closing it out for everyone.
The words that I always say, a lot of people know my themes that I always say on Facebook. And I always say, with God's strength behind us and his arms beneath us, we can face whatever lies ahead of us. God bless you all.
Thank you, LaTonya. Thanks, everyone, for being a part of the Let's Talk Sarcoidosis show on the road. I want to thank you and thank you for your support thank everyone, Allison, for this wonderful foundation. And God willing, we all see each other next time around and have safe journeys back. And we want to say thanks for watching the show. As I always say, live your life. Don't give up. You have so much to live for. As Egypt said, we want to say it again, y'all, closing it out. He says, eat, meditate, and sleep. See you next time.